My Alex is ready.
So as you know, as I told you, we're doing everything we can. We're looking at every feasible possible, angle. I know you talked a little bit about, using drugs, using marijuana. So last night, was there any chance that you were having some issues with your wisdom teeth and needed to go get something to ease the pain last night?
I did. I went up and got Orajel. That was right up there. I met her like at the end of Buckhalter Road, a friend of mine, because I don't have money to go and get some expensive over-the-counter. I don't have it.
And what time was that?
That was like, I got home at 1:25 a.m.
1:25 a.m.
I was gone for 12 minutes. You go on my 316, look at it right there.
There's some text messages in your phone. You guys can sample a little phone.
Yeah.
To the phone. And there's a message in there. It's an outgoing message from you that says turning on 204. And that's at 10:40.
Yeah.
10:40 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't talk about that before. So 10:40 p.m. Where were you at 10:40 p.m.?
If I was turning on 204, I was probably going to go pay back or something. Pay back front from him. To be honest with you, I was going to go pay back the $20 front for him.
For who?
For Danny. Daniel, that's who King is. That's Danny. Whatever. He had $20 a week. I went and paid it back. Whatever. But he was awake at that time. He was up. He was awake at that time. Quinton had just went to sleep. He had stopped all the crying and all that stuff. And that's why I left, because he went to sleep at 10:30. And it only takes him 12 minutes to get to a 4. If you take 16.
So that would have been important for us to know before. So we have to understand everything. And you just, you have to be kind of open book.
I wasn't
good or bad.
Yeah, it's not like I was trying to keep it. I'm trying to replay everything over and over, and I've been doing it all day. All day. I forgot about that. That was not on my mind. My mind is, this is where I went, this is what I did, this is the last time I see my son, and I need him here now.
And you mentioned he was crying a lot.
Yeah, he was done.
Was that abnormal?
No, it's not like crying. Like, it wasn't crying. He does, talking to himself, a constant baby talk. It's almost like he's singing to himself. There you go. But he's always done that. He's always done that from the time he started crawling and actually saying mama or dada or drink or eat or anything. He's always done the little la 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 when he's asleep.
You gotta understand, there's a lot of resources being expended.
I know there is. I kind of figured that for as long as it's been, you'll probably have to expand the search, which means something's popped up.
But you have to help us, you understand that?
I do. Again, anywhere that we went after we picked up the kids at 4:30, me or him, none of the kids were with us. I can verify that 100%. After we picked them up at 4:30, all 3 of their babies were at that house. There was time that they showered, ate, and went to bed. I made 2 runs, Orajel, and then 204, and then Orajel.
Let's just talk about that. Let's look at 204. What time did you leave the house?
That time, I texted him and said I was turning on 204. I had already been gone. That means I was literally turning on 204, so I've probably been gone like 10 minutes at that time.
What would have been your route? You left your house off Buckhalter.
If I went off Buckhalter, I took 17. It's possible on the way. Yeah, it's possible on the way back. I may not have taken 17. I could have taken 16 because there's been road work on 204.
So you went south on 17 from Buckhalter.
Yep, and I think I took the highway back.
And then when you said on this text message, you said you turned on 204.
Like, okay, so if I'm on 17.
Heading towards 95?
Yeah, like when I say I'm turning on 204, if you head towards 17 and before Walmart and you got that bridge, and that's me turning on 204. That would have been my location right there by that bridge, turning on 204.
But turning on 204 going what direction?
Going toward
to Savannah or south out to 95?
South towards 95.
95.
like over there by like Flacco's Tacos and Harley Davidson shop. That's where I met the person I paid back $20 to.
Okay, and who was that person that you?
They goes by Red.
Red.
He goes by Red. I don't know his name. He's a tall, light-skinned dude.
Black dude.
Yeah, tall, light-skinned black dude. Yeah.
You met him at. So if you sent that at 10:40, it's a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, and I was already heading back by the time that.
So at 10:40, were you texting him that you were turning on 204 to go meet Red?
Yeah, like I'm turning on 204 now, like I'm about to meet him. That's what I was trying to tell him. So.
And at that point, you didn't get anything.
No, I just paid him $20. I gave him $20 and I left him. It was referred from a couple days ago. A few days ago, I think we got that 8th. We paid $10 on the 8th, and we owed $20.
How much more money did you owe Red?
Nothing. That was it. Okay. That was just that $20. Just when you would have seen messages, otherwise somebody blowing up my phone or Danny's phone about us owing money.
And you don't owe anybody else anymore? Because I asked you this question earlier.
Yeah, no, and we did. Okay. I don't. Like that was handled. That was, got it front 2 days later, paid you back. That's what that was. Okay. So it's like, I don't do fronts like that. That was on his name, on his front. I didn't like doing that. I went ahead and paid it back.
Was last night, was it abnormal for Quinton to cry as much as he did last night?
No, he, like I said, he wasn't crying. He was, like, modeling, Lou. That's what he does. He did that, and it got quiet, like 10:30. About 10:30, and looked over there, and he was knocked out. Little cheeks pink and snuggled up in the blanket. So.
Where do y'all keep the weed when y'all do have it?
Outside. We got it outside in a safe box.
Was there anything else that would be inside the house?
No. We don't smoke cigarettes inside. We don't smoke weed inside. We don't take it inside. We don't do that.
What about Paul?
Paul? No.
Is he into any of that?
Yeah, he smokes, but I don't think, as far as I know, he keeps it in his truck.
His truck?
As far as I know, he keeps it in his truck. That was one of the rules that my parents allowed him to move in there.
But it's just weed though?
Yeah. Just weed. Nothing else. Like, listen, my mom's a convicted felon. There's no way I'm going to sit there and continuously push the buttons of these people.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Okay. But you were in substance abuse for...
I've had other things I used to do, other things. I have messed around with coke, or at one point I was on meth, or whatever. I got all that stuff on my own. And then when I had that and I had my mental health issues, I just went ahead and told the counselor that sometimes I just want to go back to feeling that numb. So now I got substance abuse counseling. So.
Did either Paul or Danny ever have issues with that too?
Paul, I don't think so. Danny? No, I don't think so with that either. Whatever. Danny's very particular. Most that he'll do is drink beer. Maybe hit it once or twice. That's all he does.
Was there a reason that you went to go pay instead of Danny?
I was the only one with money, and I wasn't giving Danny the money to go do so.
Why is that?
Because there's times that he would go and spend it on alcohol versus what we needed to do it on, spend it on.
Okay.
That's
how often does that happen?
He drinks daily.
Does that ever become a problem?
No, he doesn't get drunk. He's not like a belligerent, angry. He doesn't do that. I mean, it was like a 6-pack beer a day. That's what he does.
How much did you have last night?
Last night, he had a 6-pack as normal. I think he had a few shots of Fireball too.
But he wasn't anything abnormal?
Nothing out of the way. He was laying down before I was.
Did Paul know that y'all were leaving? Or you were leaving for a second? Or was he already upstairs?
He was already upstairs. When Paul got home last night, normally he does come down there and, come in my room or whatever and hang out. He didn't last night. He just came in there for a minute, said, hey, got his dog, and went upstairs. So.
Is Paul hear Quinton crying when he's upstairs?
No.
He can't hear him cry?
Not from upstairs. I can't hear nothing. Like when we used to be upstairs, you can come and bang on my door as hard as you wanted to. I couldn't hear you. So I can't hear you bang on the door. It's only when you hear a child. Not from that. That's why we moved from up there down there. So we're not constantly worried about stairs or stuff like that.
How old are you, Paul?
I'll be 23 in November.
So you've been through a lot as a 23-year-old.
Y'all don't understand. There's a lot of reasons why I've been counseling, dude. My mother's been in and out of my life. I watched her OD and get buried in fucking leaves in the ditch by her friends that just loved us there. I've been in so many situations. And I just want people to understand that I would never cause any harm towards any of my kids the way I have been hurt. I just won't. I sit here and I do have issues with us because I take all the blame on me. Anything that goes wrong, I take it in. I wear my heart on my sleeve and I really shouldn't. That little boy last night, he was so sweet in that bathtub. He was sitting there telling me bubbles. He wanted to play with the bubbles. That's all he wants to do is play with bubbles and go to the park and play with a ball and a tablet. People just want to come and take your happy baby. Remember that surgeon is or whatever really hurt my feelings out there saying you don't think that your mental problems could have made you do something and you completely not know about it? No, I do not think that
You
is.
just gotta understand that.
I don't think that there's anything like that. That would like I don't care how many different personalities somebody says I have. Every single one of those kids the same. I gave birth to Quinton alone in the hospital room. Alone, I had nobody there. I was in the hospital for 2 days. That is my boy. That is my baby. And let me my baby back home. Okay. Is that right? This is right. I'm trying all the hardest. The more I try to get back on track so I can be what these kids need, the more life is hitting me. And this time this fucking just blew me up. I can't. Like I'm really I'm probably gonna have to go to like a mental hospital after this. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I think I'm more of a danger to myself than I am right now.
Take some deep breaths right now. Do you need any water right now? Just take some deep breaths. Deep breaths.
In our situation, I just did one thing I do. Mom, I call my mom. Don't help me with my kids. She has them. Until I start getting myself back together and come back here and get a decent job, got a car for myself on Mother's Day. Just trying to build myself up for these kids. And I'm still going to try. My hardest no matter what. But I can't. And I don't even know if what's okay. I just want to know if it's okay. I want some type of traffic camera to just something to tell me he's okay. But nobody knows it by the time it hits tomorrow morning. It already been past the time.
at cell phone data. There are people doing additional interviews. There's search warrants taking place. When it comes to a child and a child abduction, there is absolutely no stone, no leaf that's not unturned. So I can 100% tell you that between the FBI and the Chatham County Police Department, we are going to find out what happened. I promise you that. And if we find that out, an hour from now, or we find it out a year from now, we are going to figure this out. I can promise you that. Because there's nothing more important to us than finding, Quinton and bringing the person to justice that's responsible for taking him out of your life. Okay? So I want to look you in the eye and tell you that. But I need you to look me in the eye and tell me from this point forward, there's absolutely nothing.
I believe that is the 100%. I believe that is the only event that I did not disclose. And it's only because I didn't think about it. That's not what I was thinking about at the time. I'm just like, that's like, no. When he was in bed, he was asleep when I left.
This is going to be hard. I'm going to ask you this. It's going to be hard. And you can't get frustrated with me because you got to understand we're doing a job. But when we first talked to you in the initial interview, there was no mention of Quinton crying a lot. You mentioned that he was babbling.
Yeah, he babbles. He does a lot.
Just here 15 minutes ago in this interview room, before you took off and this text message, hey, I'm turning on 204 now, you mentioned that it was, I made that trip, before he was crying. And you described crying to the point where he was crying maybe abnormally. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but that's the way I interpreted it, that he was crying abnormally. But
No, I think I said I left before, he was asleep. I left before, it's not like I left and he was still awake. I left after he fell asleep. He was babbling. And when I came back in, I checked on him again. He was still asleep. And a crying thing? No. He does a little fuss? Did he cry? No. When I say crying, that's babbling, fussy noises. It's the way I explained it for Zane and Quinton. And it's not. None of my kids cry and fuss. They scream, pitch a fit. Every kid cries. No, let me tell you that. I'm not trying to mean that by no means. Every kid cries. Okay? But no, he wasn't crying abnormally. It was just so very loud. Like he was trying to get somebody to come over there and give him the attention, even though it was bedtime. He had a tablet with him too. It could have been, he could have been looking at something and thinking it was funny. It's a kid-approved YouTube for kids TV thing. You can't get on nothing at all that's, bad for kids or anything like that. Whatever. So he could have been laughing at something like that, just like my oldest does. Or looking, he was just babbling, fussing, crying. I don't know. But when I left the house, he was asleep. It was quiet. He was curled up with a blanket. He was quiet.
And what time did you say? 10:40, you turned on 204. What time did you get back to the house?
To the house, 10:49, 50. I was gonna be 20 minutes. Total 20 minutes, 22 minutes. Something like that.
What was Quinton doing when you got home?
He was still asleep.
And what was Zane doing?
He was laying on the bed with his tablet on his chest.
Okay. Was he asleep though?
Yeah.
Okay. And then your fiance?
He was laying on the bed with a Fire Stick TV in his hand. The remote thing.
Anything weird about him?
He was just laying there. Besides the fact that he was still fully dressed, and that's not normally him. But then again, there was a lot going on. We left work early. I had to get the wisdom teeth taken out, and come to the house, clean up stuff, get dinner going, get the kids. So he was just, he just didn't have time.
Does he have kids himself, your fiance?
My little girl. That's his daughter.
That's his daughter. Besides her though? Okay. How's he doing with her?
He does really good. She smells at him before she does me. And I'm the one that carried her.
You just stepped straight in the family then?
And almost died giving birth to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she's still his favorite? Or, yeah, she's still, whatever.
She said, Daddy's going all the way.
His
name is all about his papa. Quinton was my baby.
Yeah.
He was the one that come across my lap just like Sky does. Sky does Danny, or Zane does. I didn't get that this morning.
And you said Paul had a pretty good relationship with him too?
Yeah, he's very good with my kids. If I need help, he's right there. No, is he like, I'll do it all for you? No. But you be watching for a second? Yeah. You be taking both out and playing with them for a second? Yeah. You be teaching about to play soccer? Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there anything else of any sort of relevance that, you want to talk to us about, on the phone at all?
No. There's nothing there at all. And like I said, y'all can go on Life 360 if you want to. It's on there. And it shows you my exact route that I took. And the way I came back, the time that I left the house, the time that I got back home. It shows everything. And it shows Danny's trips and everything too. The times and all. And dates.
So like you said, we got people working everywhere right now.
Well, you've been through a lot in your life. Now is not the time for us to, there's a lot, I think, that we can talk about, and we can get you in contact with folks that can provide you assistance, free of charge, to help you through, everything that you've been through. But right now, I don't want to make light of that situation because it's not lost on me what it is that you've been through. But we've got a job to do. And you got to understand that bad news doesn't get better with time. Is there any chance that an accident happened? No chance at all.
No. When I put him down in that bed, unless something happened when I was not there, and I had no knowledge about, he was fine. When I got home, he was fine. He was asleep. He was curled up in that blanket. I touched his little hair. He moved and rolled over. I'm telling you, he was fine.
So just help me understand, what type of accident could have happened? Do you think that Danny may have done something? Because we have to agree that Quinton was crying. We have to agree to that. More than just bad. Is it possible that you left the house because Quinton was crying so bad, and he came back, and there was an accident that took place?
I think the only time Quinton actually cried is when you take that towel from him, and he's laying in there. Then he's not just no towel. When I left the house, he was asleep. He was already asleep. Now, is it possible that Zane could have woken up for a second when something got loud and proud because we wouldn't turn the TV back on for him and woke up with Quinn? Yeah, that's a possible thing. Danny doesn't know we're living under that patience, though. Not like that, not easily. Not to where I think that he would finally just get fed up with somebody crying and do something to make him shut up and not realize that they didn't do something too much. He's not that type of person.
You know how easy that can happen.
Yeah.
We're adults, we're grown adults, but a small child, it doesn't take much.
Yeah.
You can just get frustrated with a small child and just grab them the wrong way.
Yeah.
And an accident happens. The next thing you know, the child's unconscious. And it's the natural thing to do, to panic. Instead of, because you're not thinking logically at that point. All you're thinking about is, what has happened. And you don't know what to do, and you panic.
I don't think that he would. I don't think he would at all when I got back to the house. And I reached over that thing, and I moved his little hair in his face. And that's all I did. He turned and laid down. It's good. He was fine. I was a happy baby when he was asleep. I don't know what to say. I don't know what something could have occurred. I don't want to think about probabilities, even though there's a million of them. But I don't know. And I don't want to think that he would do something like that. But like you said, when people snap, people break. I don't think he would though. Daddy was not acting out the way when I got home. He was not acting like antsy or nervous or mad or concerned or anything weird at all. He was not.
What about this morning?
This morning, I didn't see him.
What about since y'all have been together?
Same. He's been very calm now. It's probably because I'm not.
Is that a normal thing for him?
If I'm freaking out, he tries his hardest to stay calm. And then if it's the other way around, he's normally freaking out. Yeah, I'm calling him screaming about him. I said, I can't find Quinton. I can't find him anywhere. The door is open and I can't find him anywhere. I said, did you drop him off at Michelle's or something? Did you tell me that you were going to do that and not tell me? Like, and I not remember? He said, no, he was there when I left this morning. I said, you're 100% sure? He said, yes. I said, he's not here now. And there was a 3-hour difference between when he left this morning and when I woke up.
Do you think something could have happened in those 3 hours with Danny?
I don't know. On Life 360 it shows that he left at the time that he says he did, and then he got to work at the time that he said he did, and then he left and came home when I called. So, I mean, I don't think so. I got my boss's numbers as well if you would like that to confirm that Danny was there.
We can pull that up on here.
Danny's your fiance.
Mm-hmm.
You lived 23 hard years. You got a lot of life left in front of you. You're the mother of 3 beautiful children. As you described. Nothing is more important than you being available and being a mother for these 3 children.
Yes.
So don't let any sort of motivation to protect Danny stand in the way of you being the mother that you need to be.
I wouldn't. Like I said, he was mad. The only thing I thought was weird is he said normally he gets off work, goes home, takes a shower, and immediately dresses because he's that type of pretty boy. He didn't do that yesterday. But I was in pain. I had gauzes in my mouth. He was helping me in and out of the car and into the house because I was a little lippy. You know. So I really don't.
And the kid and Quinton starts crying and you're not there to be the mother because you're suffering from having your wisdom teeth pulled out.
Like I'm telling you, like when he was asleep, when he would lay down, and when I took that tablet away, yeah, he did cry. That might be what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, he did cry. He screamed. He's TV on, TV on, as he says it, or whatever. But by the time that I had smoked a cigarette, got dressed, and was getting ready to leave and checked on him, he was asleep. Eyes shut. Completely. Left, kissed back, checked again, moved his hair in his face. Still, it was good. He did a little. It was good. Same, he was good. I wasn't touching that tablet, but I knew better than I was. Throw the tablet at me.
And you don't think there's any chance that an accident could have taken place and Danny just did something that it just...
If there was, I'm not going to say no because you never truly know anybody. Y'all read about that. But if there was nothing at all that made me suspect anything was wrong when I got up. Or even when I got up this morning, besides my front door being open. That's the first thing that threw me off. Front door was open. Okay, got up, shut it, checked to make sure every single kid's there. And Quinton wasn't there. But everything was good. But minus that, I normally wake up when Danny gets out of bed. I normally wake up. And he normally tells me bye. I do not remember him telling me bye. I do not remember him getting out of bed. That's probably the weirdest part right there. You know, but I was up throughout the night.
Is there any reason that y'all have been up and in and out of the house throughout the night?
No. The last time anybody should have left that house would have been me, and that was when I went to go get that ordeal. And that was just the end of a culture back that was on my street.
So none of the doors in the house would have opened or closed at any point after you got back home?
Nope. At all. And I had that back door locked. I know I looked out the front door. I pushed up against it, and I knew that was locked. And Danny went outside this morning and grabbed some cigarettes off of it and locked the door and didn't push it all the way. It wouldn't have caught. It wouldn't have latched. He could just push it over. So, he said, or he kept on swearing up and down that he locked it, that it was locked. I can take it better enough pushing it back open the door. Just how down. That's how easy it is to get out of the house. So, I don't know. I don't think he would. And I don't want to believe he would. He wasn't acting out the way. There is nothing at all that I could think of with the way he was acting, talking, looking, reacting, behaving, or anything for me to think, yeah, he probably could have done something. There's nothing for me to think that at all. It was really baffled right now. It's honest. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin to look. What am I supposed to do when I go home? What am I supposed to do? Act like everything's normal? Sleep in the room that I normally have 3 babies in, and now I got 2?
Just one last thing with the messages on here. You're saying something, or he's saying something about, I guess when you were meeting up with this dude, Fred, about him being threatened.
No, that's about my brother. Paul showed up and is going to bed. Wow, okay, he said something about telling you he was on the way, and he was being threatened to run over. That was my brother leaving work, and somebody threatened to run him over at work.
Can you tell us about that?
I didn't elaborate on the situation. Like I said, Paul normally stays down there and hangs out, but he didn't. He gave him his dog and went upstairs.
Yeah.
So, I still haven't asked about that situation yet. I got up and I didn't have the time.
Does Paul ever have issues or anything?
Like that? No. He is autistic, and sometimes he runs his mouth, and if he runs it to the wrong person, he just has to do. Is that probably what happened at work? Yeah, he probably looked over at somebody, flipped off the wrong person, and decided they were going to try to run him over.
Does he have people coming over to the house?
No. But then again, I'm gone 6 to 2, and he works 2 to 10.
Yeah.
So if there is, I don't know, and I don't see him. And nobody gets my room because I lock my door when I'm not home.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
What about Danny? So you got people coming over?
He has one friend, and his name is Marvin, but he doesn't hang out or anything. Like, they might stop by and talk for 5 or 10 minutes and then go on. They used to work together.
Okay.
Other than that, when he moved down here, Danny didn't have anybody.
What about Paul having a girlfriend? He still have a girlfriend.
That's news to me.
Okay, I'm just asking if he does.
That's news to me.
Okay.
I was just about to shock his eyes about anything else. No girlfriends. We question if he's gay. That's why I was.
Or boyfriends, do you have boyfriends come over?
Yeah, but no, none of that. I haven't seen nobody come over. Thomas, when he's home, he doesn't have company come over unless it's his sister or it's a really old friend of his named Roger. Who,
Thomas is your other brother?
It was my stepdad. My other brother is Joe, that was here earlier.
Gotcha.
I had 6 brothers, I'm sorry.
Goodness.
When was your mom, when was she scheduled to be back here?
A couple weeks. We talked to her last week. She said she should be coming home in 2 to 3 weeks. And then we told her a couple of days ago that she got laid off. And when we called her and asked if she was coming home, she said she doesn't know if she's coming home quite yet. So maybe that she was maybe trying to set up another job, or maybe she was just going to go and hang out with Thomas at his job on her way home and then just come home with him this weekend, since he comes home on the weekends, or something. But I didn't really get into big detail about it because the last incident we did have with the pushing and the kids and the cops calling and all that stuff, we have been very distant since then.
So given your mom's situation as it relates to her travel and her job, and given your situation as it relates to your mental health and use of drugs, and you saying that you're not in a position to take care of Quinton at least, so you feel that given your mom's situation and your situation, she was still the best person for you to have direct custody to.
Yeah, she from the time that I first gave the custody to until now, no matter what, I gave her the custody to. She hasn't had custody over them for not even a year yet. Not even a year.
But you see, I I'm trying to understand that she's away, she's maybe out of town for a month, 2 months at a time.
Sometimes 3, sometimes.
She has full custody, so really it's just call it a paper drill, call it what you want to.
Yeah, it's pretty much just paper talking. Or whatever. She got custody, but I was the one every day. I was there every day. I took him to his doctor's appointments. was set up just like they were set up still on the counter next to his bed every night. They had put their bags together with their toys and their diapers or pull-ups and, snacks for throughout the day because Miss Shelley handled snacks. She only knows how to send snacks. It was me who was with that baby every day, all of them. When I was finally, mentally and everything stable enough to come and be there and to be good for my kids. Whatever I did, it was there all the time. I set up their appointments. I made sure everything was good with them. I got Zane Golden in speech, and Quinton was going to have an appointment to see if he was autistic coming up pretty soon to go ahead and just start the little test on that because Zane is autistic and I wanted to help and he needed to be able to progress.
You've been through a lot in your life. We've talked about that. You've been through a lot. We can't imagine what it is. Through all that, trials and tribulations that you've been through, you get what I like to call just street smarts, just an inclination, just a hunch. That you know something just doesn't quite smell right.
But you don't know exactly what it is.
And that's what I'm asking for you right now, because I know that you know something's just not quite right.
I don't know what it is.
But it goes back to what we talked about earlier. Bad news doesn't get better with time. Accidents happen. Things happen. Things that we regret, after it's done. So that's what I'm looking at you in the eye right now. Because it goes to the fact that there's probably no less than 40 to 50 people right now that are doing nothing but grinding away to do everything humanly and feasibly possible to find Quinton. So going back to that sense, that sixth sense that you have, 23 years old, young lady, but has a whole lifetime experience in 23 years. That's what I'm leaning on you for right now.
Please,
accidents happen.
No
I need
idea.
you to help me figure out what happened. What happened last night?
I'm trying. I don't think nothing was out of the ordinary with Danny. When I left, and when I came back, nothing out of the ordinary at all. Even though he was talking, his movements, body language, all of it, nothing was throwing me off. Nothing. And normally it does. When he's sitting there talking to some other female on his phone and won't tell me about it, and I have a feeling or a hunch, I'm right. And I can tell because of the way he's acting, the way he moves. He's very secretive. It wasn't like that last night. This man was like on the couch like this. Well, on the bed, this couch on the bed. And on the bed like this. Actually, I can just click it on it.
When you saw Quinton last night, when you came back at 10:40,
about 10:15, yeah.
You know 100% certain.
He was okay.
He was okay.
He was 100% certain, okay, that baby was moving, that baby was breathing, and that baby was curling up inside of a blanket, getting comfy last time I laid my eyes on him. That was the last time I laid my eyes on him. Snuggling up in his hair.
But you gotta agree that it's possible. We've got to figure out.
I can't throw it out because I don't know the person that I never thought would hurt me. Okay, so I'm not gonna throw it out. But do I think that he would? No. Will I put it past anybody? No. I don't put it past nobody. There's a possibility that something could have happened. Maybe something happened after I went to sleep. Maybe Quinton woke up and started crying because I was so tired and doped up on medicine I didn't hear it. Maybe he got frustrated. But if it happened, I don't know, and I don't want to focus on maybes. Because that stuff is just lays down to a dead end normally.
And if that happened, and if you know that happened, we're going to do everything we can to protect you. So you got to understand that.
That's like the only thing. When I'm sitting there and I'm thinking how everything went last night when I left and I came back both times, how he was. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm normally a light sleeper. I normally wake up the moment this dude's alarm goes off and he's crawling out of bed He still got his nothing but drawers on. You know. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't see him. I didn't feel nothing at all. I didn't hear Sky when she woke up at 3. I'm guessing he did. She normally wakes up about 3:30. So that's if I can give you a time frame of when possibly something could have, I would have been after 1:30 in the morning when I went to bed. I was like laying down at 12. My mouth couldn't get comfortable when my mouth was hurting. Got in contact with my friend, went and got some Ora gel, came back home, applied it, checked on it all again, and I went to bed. Climbed up in bed next to Danny, and I was against the wall, and Danny was on the outside.
And you didn't get anything else from Red?
No.
Nothing else?
No, I handed him a $20 bill.
So when we go talk to Red, Red's going to tell us that?
Yeah, he's going to hand me a $20 bill.
That's it?
Yeah.
So was that important for you last night to get up at 10:40 at night?
And I was getting irritated with Danny because my mouth was hurting, so that was an excuse for me to go ahead and just get out of the house for a minute and have a reason to do so too, besides just running. So I was getting aggravated with him. My mouth was hurting and kept on trying to offer me food and this, and I tried every time he would put his hand on me, he kept on touching right here repeatedly, and I was just aggravated. My mouth was hurting. And one period, that shit didn't help either. Then a girl got in the car and I was like, hey, I'll pay back $20, right? He said, yeah. Went and gave it back. And that Danny and I have been on and off arguing a lot the past few months because of him cheating and things like that. So that has turned into my way of handling things with Danny before it escalates to the point that it is yelling and screaming and arguing and throwing stuff. It's just walk away. When I feel like it's escalating, just walk away. When I say escalate, I don't ever think that the man will put his hands on me. No. Do the kids need to sit there and watch us constantly screaming and yelling in each other's face? No. So I just leave. There's been times that I went inside that Salt Creek Park and then got told to leave by an officer because you can't be there after dark. You know? So it's just escape. That was the excuse last night. This is escape because I'm sitting there feeling like he's talking to other people because he doesn't want to do anything with me in bed. No, nothing at all. Nothing out the way. Nothing.
There's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
You're feeling some pain.
Nothing looking out the way. Quinton, when he was awake and was around Danny, was not acting no type of way towards Danny. Wasn't acting scared or frightened. Didn't flinch when we picked him up and spin him in the air. You know, nothing. So, and even afterwards, when he was in bed and asleep, whoever said that Danny wasn't acting funny. The animals weren't acting funny. The house was exactly the way it was when I left it. I mean, exactly. Straight down to the dog's turd in front of the back door. That was all the same.
I'm just looking to give you every opportunity to recollect and think through exactly what happened. And I'm going to disclose some things to you that we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
So you understand. So if the doors, were open and shut anytime after you got home at 10:50, we're going to find that out. If any cars, if Danny's car left, if any cars associated with that house left, we're going to find out. You have to understand that. Like when it comes to a situation this much gravity, with this much weight, there is no expense spared to figure this out. Okay? But we can easily sit here and talk to you, get everything in your mind, and you tell us what you think happened. And it saves a lot of time.
And then I think, I wasn't going to put past nobody. Because I know how much people trust the people who watched me when I was younger. Whatever. And I trust anyone, all of me. I trust him. I trust him with the kids more than I trust him with myself. Because he's so cheated and hurt me that many times to that extent. And he's never done wrong by the kids that I could see. Never. And he's scared to even pop them. So, like, if he did mentally snap, if he She was after I was asleep. That was after going and picking up my orange out. Because after I got back, yeah, I did lay down for a minute. I tried to sleep for a minute. I tried and I couldn't. And my mouth hurt. And got in contact with my friend and got some orange juice, which is what was at 1:25 and I got back in the morning. But not immediately after going to 204. You didn't act no type of way. Nothing looked out of the ordinary in the house this morning when I got up either. Besides my door being open. And my not being there. That's the only two things that are out of the ordinary.
Do you have any other way of tracking anyone else other than Life 360?
I used to have the location thing, but it doesn't have my iPhone anymore.
What is SoFi?
So it's a bank app. There's a lot of those in there. I was trying to get a $30 sign-up bonus.
Are you good to go ahead and do this? Or on this?
No, I'm just doing it.
So if you would, I'm kind of new to Life 360, so if I start...
So this would be all the most recent ones. The farther you go down, the older they get.
Gotcha.
Alright? And even if you click on money and you want to see where I left this morning, this will show, and because my phone battery was low, which is why it's showing like that, and it's showing me pulling up here. There's the Chevron gas station.
Yeah.
To get that, and then went back home. Okay, red. Looks like I took 17 there and took 16 back, or 95 back.
So how do I see Danny's?
Is that what we have to do? His name, click on it, and it says same. Unable to connect.
Oh, we have it on airplane, but you can take it off. It might be mine. Do you need Wi-Fi or do you already have data?
I have data, it's just, same.
This precinct's kind of a dead zone.
Saying unable to connect.
Is it trying to do a live thing, or is it just show the history?
It's trying to do both, and right now it's not showing anything, and that's weird because I seen this stuff this morning. The only reason I'd be doing that is if Life 360 isn't on his phone anymore. And it says he's been on since 9:55, so it's been on there.
Would it not work if his phone was off right now?
No, it should still show up the history.
His most recent location.
Yeah, it should still show that up.
4 hours ago.
But it's not showing the history.
Yeah, if the phone's off, it won't go. If his phone is off, see how it's cycling, so it's not connecting. So it relies on his phone and the app to push you the data. So that's what that is. And there's nothing else that you think of. And there's no chance. And this is going to sound crude, but you got to understand that we've got a job to do. There's no chance.
There's no chance at all that I think that I would do anything with my mental, no matter what, to hurt my children.
And
Danny, no. I'm going to put it this way. I 95% believe that there is no possibility that that man would hurt the children.
something can happen along the
Which is why I said I'm 95%.
It could be an accident.
Exactly, because there's nothing that can make us. If something did happen to my baby last night that I did not know about, then it was probably an accident. I'm not thinking somebody would have intentionally, or Danny, or anybody would intentionally that I know, or that was in that house, hurt them children. I don't think they would. They would be ready to fight over the babies just for calling them, or referring to them as these little effers. Just then I want to fight you. But we always play in the backyard. In the backyard, like, you go out there and there's a clear area next to the carport where I can like kick the ball around with him and he can run and follow me, not be too worried. Yeah. That's what we would play out there. He would always be attracted to that old rusty truck behind the carport. So.
But we know that, the playpen, the pack and play, he wasn't strong enough, tall enough, big enough to crawl out of there on his own. So whatever has happened to Quinton at this point, he was picked up out of that pack and play.
I wasn't on any type of medication yesterday when I was asleep. I would have heard that. I would have heard my door opening. I would have heard all of that. I would have been prevented from whatever happened to my child happening to my child. Whether it was him or a stranger, I would have been able to prevent it.
Have you had anybody when Quinton was playing out in the yard, when the kids were playing out in the yard, any passersby just randomly come up and start talking to you? Hey, how you doing?
There's a white male that's come up and knocked on my door. It's passed him off about 3 times randomly. One time was at like 12 o'clock at night saying, God told me to come bless you and your kids. And he left. And he came back the following week again, about 1 o'clock. Knocked on the door.
And you answered the door 1 o'clock in the morning.
And I said, who is it? Whatever. And he said his name. And I was like, do you need anything? Are you okay? I didn't open my screen door. That one was still shut.
Any sort of like ring doorbell camera or anything like that?
No, but I had that. So I didn't open the screen door for it. I was like, what do you want? What do you need? Are you okay? Do you need assistance? You call somebody. He said no, and then he left again. And the last time I seen him was, I think, a few days ago when I had all the kids, including Sky, all of us were outside in the front yard kicking the ball around.
Did he ever try to engage or interact with the kids? Like, hey, buddy, how are you doing? He ever say anything like that?
Every time that he knocked on the door, came to the yard, he's always, hey, how you doing? What's up? My church is this, and God bless you, and do you need a hug?
Did this man give you any sort of bad vibes? Did you think he was an upstanding person, legitimate, or there was something?
There was something off about him. I mean, what person comes up and knocks on somebody's door at that time of night to say God bless you?
So what else? You have no idea, like a car or anything?
I've never seen him in front of a car. I've never seen him in a car. He'd always just come walking open the road. I can tell you he's probably about 5'11", light blue eyes, 106 pounds. Maybe around 19, 20 years old. He looked young. He's younger than me. He looked young. So, other than that, that's the only person that's popped up recently at all that's been random out the blue. Completely unexpected and at very odd times. That's it. Give me a piece of paper.
Yeah, you get a dry socket with that. You're probably a lot of pain right now still, aren't you?
It's all it hurts. It's the whole area. They
Do not miss that.
took this
I
tooth.
don't mind.
They took this tooth, my wisdom tooth, the one in front of it, and the one right here.
But just hold tight for a minute. I'm going to step outside. And if you could, just sit in here. Okay, do you need anything all around when you come back in? You want anything?
Let me know when I can smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, I'll let you know.